they were not interested. They didn't try very hard to teach me English, but I enjoyed learning English. And when I was in middle school, I had the opportunity to be with other students, some of them older than me, to get help from an American soldier who used to go to a teacher's college, and he was serving in Seoul. We didn't have to pay him. He was doing it as a hobby, and he was very helpful. For a couple of years, we would meet him almost every other night and speak English. But it was not only speaking and understanding English, but also he introduced us into what I would say English world. He would get magazines, books,
also some kind of culture.
All kinds of information. For example, he would ask us to write letters to the different states. You choose one state. I chose South Carolina, and
like
I wrote a letter, asked them to send us information about that state, and we were able to learn a great deal of English.
Right. I bet a lot of our viewers out there might be saying, how can I possibly speak English like those guys on TV right now? And that's something we're going to talk about from now on.
Yes. Yeah. When did you decide to be a diplomat? I
was interested in diplomatic service when I was in college, but I never really decided that I would become a diplomat. As such, my main vocation is being a professor. I was in the diplomatic service, first as minister and then as ambassador, 2 years each. So altogether, only about 4 years. So it's almost an avocation rather than vocation. But being a diplomat has helped me to be a good professor. I think being a professor also helped me to be an effective diplomat.
But what I heard is you had decided to study English even harder earlier than that. Mr. Professor, what was your main momentum of studying harder?
Actually, I like to watch movies. And even then, maybe especially then, there weren't too many movies that were open, that high school and middle school students were allowed to watch. We didn't have television sets at home, much less computers and notebooks. So we had to go to theaters or movie houses to watch movies. And we had subtitles, but we also I wanted to be able to understand what they were saying. And I would sometimes watch the same movie twice, 3 times, sometimes memorize
the whole line,
the dialogue, and it was very helpful.
Do you have any favorite movie star?
Well, at that time, unfortunately, most of the stars have passed away. They're deceased.
Sorry.
But when Elizabeth Taylor was a young girl, she appeared in a movie called National Velvet. It's about the story of a racing horse. And she appeared with Mickey Rooney. And of course, I enjoyed that very much. There was a movie called Quo Vadis, starring Robert Taylor, Deborah Carr. All these actors and actresses are gone.
Good film you ever seen?
What was
your favorite movie of all time, Professor?
There was a movie called Waterloo Bridge.
Oh, Marlon Brando.
No,
I was mistaken. I'm sorry.
it's two Taylors, Robert Taylor and Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes. How was your middle school period? At the time, Korea was in difficult
situation
in various aspects.
Actually, I was in the middle school from 1952 until 55, and that was only 2 or 3 years after the war, and we had to cut our hair, and we didn't have proper shoes to wear, mostly army boots, if we were lucky. And so it was difficult, but I think it was a lot more fun than maybe the kids are going through today with all the pressure to learn English.
Right. So when you started studying English, Professor, you must have focused mainly on grammar, which is not really that helpful in terms of acquiring a language. And I heard you had a very special way of your own of acquiring the language. Can you share the secret with us, Professor?
I mentioned movies already. At that time, as today, there was the English broadcast program of what at that time was called AFKN, American Forces Korea Network. I think they just call it American
AFN.
Forces Network now. And I used to turn on the radio even when I was studying and just continue to listen to what the announcers were saying. And they usually had very good pronunciation, very good language, and so I think that was very helpful.
Yes. I heard your hard efforts and endeavor have put you at where you are today, Professor. And by the way, we found a very interesting story about you, Professor. You worked in the broadcasting industry right after you graduated from university?
Yes, I'm a long ago a broadcaster, much earlier than you people are now. I used to work for a KBS station called Korean International Broadcasting Station, and we broadcast by shortwave to countries abroad, which I think Arirang TV is doing right now. But we did it in several languages, including English, Japanese, Spanish. I don't know if we had any Arabic program as we have today. But I worked there for 2 years, and it was very helpful because I was also writing the script and broadcasting. It was a very interesting experience.
Yes.
I see.
You worked in academic sector for 36 years. And during the times, you also served as a minister and ambassador and other roles. Could you tell us what you did in details?
Well, first, I served for 2 years as Minister of Foreign Affairs, and that was during the early 1990s when we had the first North Korean nuclear crisis, so to speak. And then between that period and later when I served as ambassador to the United States, which was from 2003 until 2005, I also served as the special representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations for Cyprus. Cyprus being a divided country, I think at that time the Secretary General, who was Mr. Boutros Ghali, thought that I would be able to handle the divided country as